Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cool.
What's up, kids? Welcome to another video from Super Bleach. Yeah, I changed my name, deal with it, where I talk about grown adults who don't care or know I even exist. But today we're not even talking about grown adults, probably a few grown adults, but we're talking about a company. And this could be a lot of places. This could be T-Series, 5 Minute Crafts, any of them. But we're talking about an animating YouTube channel, those totally real ones, totally real, not fake at all, and nobody's made a video on them. Like, I am the first with my creative video ideas. I'm just so much better than everybody. Totally not terrible, first video ever on these animation channels. But these are fake. If you couldn't tell already, I'm being so sarcastic. It's actually unreal, but they're really bad. That's all I gotta say so far. And the only person who I could see believing these videos are Jake Paul fans, like Ivan Pavicic. If you don't even know who that is, he's gone forever. But let's get into these videos. Yeah, true stories. They also make videos on the YouTubers who talk about them, so I could be like absolutely screwed. Yeah. Okay, let's just start by looking at the description. Are you? I mean, it's a good description. You know?
I'm Cody, and when my dad first
Hi,
introduced me to my stepsister Megan, my jaw dropped. She was so hot, and only a year older than me. I knew I wanted her. But from day one, she acted like she was used to guys putting her on a pedestal and didn't pay any attention to me. I knew I'd have to work hard to prove that I was different than other guys. I thought it'd be a piece of cake once Megan and her mom moved in with me and my dad after our parents got married. Instead, that's when I found out she had a boyfriend, Noel. Thankfully, Dad was pretty religious and didn't really like the fact that Megan was dating Noel, so he only let her see him at our house so he could keep an eye on him and make sure they didn't get up to any funny business before marriage.
I wonder what the funny business is. I have no idea. Please tell me in the comments what you think the funny business is.
Megan and Noel were on the couch watching TV when suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I saw Megan go to kiss Noel, but he stopped her and whispered, "What about your brother?" "Oh, don't mind him. He's a simp," Megan replied.
Burn, oh my god, your sister's such a savage. A simp, you're a simp. I mean, she's not wrong though. You're simping hard for her. Simp. Yeah, you're a simp. Bum.
Pretended to ignore them and focused on adding the finishing touches to my laser sword. What else could I do? Megan obviously still didn't see me as anything other than a dumb little brother.
Thing. Yeah, as she should. What you want her? Why would she see you as anything more than a stupid little brother? This is just shows the stupidity of the characters. Oh my god, I'm so mad at my sister for not being sexually attracted to me. Like, yes, why would she be? You're her younger brother. Yes, stepbrother, but still, it's weird as hell. So there's nothing wrong with her having that point of view. You're the creep here, from everything I've seen. So I don't know. Did I mention these stories are fake? And they're trash. I mean, come on. These people are dumb as rocks in these stories, and they're just kind of creepy and weird also from what I've seen. But you are in Alabama, so I guess makes sense.
A few nights later, I brought home a girl from school who was crushing on me to make Megan jealous. It must have worked because after that, I sensed a change in our relationship. Megan started going out of her way to be nice to me and kept asking me to cover for her when she snuck out at night to see Noel. One time, after Dad saw her empty bed, he asked me if I knew where Megan was. I told him that I'd just got off the phone to her and that she was at her friend Sarah's house. When Megan got home, I told her what I'd done for her, and she gave me a big kiss. That's how I knew I was really starting to win her over. Then, the week after that, Megan burst into my room crying and flung herself on my bed. Apparently, Noel had broken up with her over the phone.
From you both are crap people. I mean, first she's sneaking out of the house, and I know, I'm sure people always do that, but doesn't mean it's okay. And then Noel breaks up with her on the phone, which Noel seems like a very knowledgeable guy, because what's about to happen in the story. So slow clap. Let's all congratulate Noel, even though he's not real. He's fake. But still. I mean, I don't know what these people expect. What I don't this is just weird. I think I'm gonna drink all the bleach I have.
I showed Megan what a sensitive guy I was by comforting her until she stopped crying. That must have done the trick, because then she slid between my sheets, mumbling, "I don't want to sleep alone tonight." Surprised, I moved over and asked, "Where am I supposed to sleep?" "Next to me," she whispered. I won't go into it, but that night my dream finally came true.
I want to kill myself. I'm going to jump off a bridge. But on a more serious note, this is absolutely disgusting. I mean, I get it. You can have your kinks about whatever you want, but this is just plain. Like, I know I'm stuttering a lot in this video, but it's because I can't believe, like, who would make these videos really ruining your. Just why? Just why? Explain to me why you would make these videos. Like, yeah, 67K views. Oh my god, we made so much money. Probably got demonetized. Actually, no. Susan probably didn't demonetize it since she sucks at YouTube. But it's kind of disgusting that you slept with your stepsister. I mean, I'm not. You are from Alabama, like we already discussed, but still, it doesn't make it okay, and it doesn't make it right, and it's just plain old disgusting.
Back into my room again after our parents had gone to bed. And the next night, I was on cloud nine right up until Monday morning when Megan burst into my room smiling and waving a pregnancy test stick. At the sight of it, I felt sick to my stomach as I crashed back to reality. But I used protection. "You sure it's mine?" I asked. "Of course it's yours, you idiot. Everyone knows those things aren't 100% effective." "Shit, Dad's gonna kill me when he finds out." "This isn't about you," she yelled, storming out in a rage. Well, that was a week ago, and Megan hasn't been back in my bed since. She won't talk to me about it either. I don't know if she's still mad at me or if it's just her hormones, but at least she hasn't told Dad yet. He's going to get the belt out when he finds out about all this funny business.
As he should. He should get the belt out for you two disgusting people. I mean, for her to really say it's not all about you, when I mean it technically is since it's both your kids, and then you to say, "Oh, don't tell Dad because he's going to use the belt on me." You deserve the belt. You deserve 10 slaps of the behind. And it's just disgusting. These are by far not the worst videos, but these people are still dumb as a pile of rocks. And yeah, let's move on to the next story. I don't know if I can make it. I might kill myself, but we'll see.
Hi, I'm Teresa. And I know this sounds bad, but I'm in love with my mom's husband, Paul. Paul is my stepdad. My real dad took off after my younger sister was born,
Your dad's a very smart man. That's all I gotta say.
the one who was always there for us. Sure, he took out the trash, mowed the lawn, and did other dad stuff. But it was more than just that. He was always interested in what I was up to, and that made me feel special. But when I was about 14, my feelings for Paul started to change. Whenever he hugged me, or his hand accidentally brushed mine, I felt something different deep inside. That's when I realized I was attracted to him. I tried to talk to the school counselor about it. I told her how I'd leave my bedroom door open a little at night and peek through the gap, trying to catch a glimpse of Paul.
Certified creep. Like, you are an absolute pervert. This is creepy. I mean, he's your stepdad. Not only is he your stepdad, but he is married to your mom. So, I mean, that just makes it a million times worse. This is definitely worse than the last one. I mean, come on. Like, what are you doing with your life?
Of it as I got older. But I didn't. So, to distract myself, I started dating boys my age from school. "Who's the lucky guy?" Paul would ask teasingly whenever I announced that I had a new boyfriend. "I hope he's good enough for you," he'd say, encouraging me to set my standards high. But none of them ever made me feel the way Paul did, and that became a problem. Because I started thinking about Paul more and more. I'd imagine him holding me and telling me he loved me instead of Mom. In my head, I knew it was incredibly selfish and very, very wrong, but I couldn't.
So you know it's wrong, but you continue to do it? That makes total sense. I mean, you're clearly a genius. I mean, Albert Einstein has nothing on you. But on the real note, come on. You know it's wrong. You know it's extremely selfish, which it is. And you just keep doing it because you're selfish. Simple as that. There's no need for you to lie to yourself. You're just a selfish brat of a person. And all your other boyfriends are lucky that you don't like them because they deserve better.
telling me to ignore my feelings. But on my other shoulder, the devil was in my ear, telling me to flirt with Paul and see if he responded. The two were constantly battling right up until last week, when Paul came home late on Friday after going out for drinks with friends. Mom had gone to bed early, but I was still up watching a movie when he staggered in and plonked down on the couch beside me. "How's my little Teresa?" he asked, stretching out and putting one arm around my shoulders. It felt nice being that close to him, so I leaned back into his arm while we chatted for a bit. Then Paul asked about my boyfriend. "He's okay, but I don't think it'll last much longer. He's pretty immature. I need a man, like you," I told him. Paul pulled his arm out from behind me and slowly turned to look at me. He reached over and gently lifted my chin with his hand. Our eyes locked. He bent his head towards mine, and I closed my eyes. In my head, I knew this was it, the moment I'd been waiting for. I took a deep breath, smelt the sweet stench of beer, and then it happened.
Oh my god, I was not expecting that when this story happened. But true stories, I will give it to them. They do a lot of these things where they act like something shocking is going to happen, and then they switch it up. Like, that was great. And if he actually kissed you, that would make him disgusting. And I know you're probably going to complain like a little brat, like, oh my god, I can't believe you didn't kiss him. But he did the exact right thing, slapping you. And I mean, putting his arms around you, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he is your stepdad trying to, comfort you and ask you about your boyfriend, ask you about your life because, he is your stepdad. And him slapping you is the right thing to do because what you said was disgusting. And I'm sure he's not into you because he shouldn't be because you're his stepdaughter. So stop being dumb.
Paul stood up and clumsily headed upstairs. I must have sat there for like 20 minutes crying before I finally went up to bed. Paul spent most of the next day outside, doing yard work, probably trying to avoid me. But I needed to talk, so I made him a sandwich for lunch and took it out with a glass of ice water. Awkwardly, I sat down beside him while he ate. "How do you feel after last night?" I asked. "Not too bad now, but I woke up with the biggest hangover," he said. "I shouldn't have drunk so much." Paul handed me his empty plate, said, "Thanks, sweetheart," and went back to trimming the hedges, like nothing had ever happened. I love Paul so much, but I'm confused. I don't know how he feels, or if he even remembers what he did. He was pretty drunk.
Okay, that's enough of this story. We'll move on to the last one. But final thoughts for this one. Your stepdad is a good person, and you're not. It's just so obvious. First of all, you're clearly not interested in getting boyfriends, but you get them anyway just so you can break their heart. And then you talk behind their back saying they're not that good. It's just kind of sad to see you be like this. And also, I just want to say the thumbnail is complete clickbait. Nothing like that happened. What you should have is him just peacefully showering and her watching him like the pervert she is.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? I poked holes in my boyfriend's condoms. Hi, my name's Melissa, and here's what happened. James and I had been together since I was a freshman and he was a sophomore. He was the hottest guy in our high school. I saw the way the other girls looked at him when he passed them at their lockers. The way his eyes kind of twinkled and his whole face lit up when he smiled was enough to make any girl go weak at the knees. I'm sure he'd make gorgeous babies and would be a fantastic father one day. Actually, I've been thinking more and more about having kids, ever since my older sister Ellen had a baby 3 years ago. I love looking after my nephew and am definitely getting baby fever. Okay, yeah, I know I'm still pretty young, but they do say girls mature faster than boys. Besides, Mom was only 17 when she had Ellen. When I tried to bring it up with James, he lost it. He told me I was an idiot for even thinking about having kids. Said he wanted to go to college, get a decent job that paid bucket loads, and have some real fun before settling down.
So is James supposed to be the bad guy in this story? Because he seems like a very responsible guy. Like, I mean, that is a good response. You want to go to college, you want to get a job, and you want to settle down before having a kid. That's the great response you need. Like, the only time people have kids before they're ready, and then that resolves in the kid having a bad life, you having a bad life, and then the kid ending up being a bad kid, and it all just leads to a terrible rabbit hole. So clearly James is doing the right thing here. I don't know why you want a kid so bad, and why you can't just be patient. It's simple as that. It doesn't take a genius to understand that you need to be ready to have a kid. And I think James is a very smart guy, even though he's not ready.
But there's no way in hell I'm waiting till I'm middle-aged. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. James was always careful to use a condom whenever we did it, usually at his place on the days he was free after school. But there weren't too many of those since he had started working part-time at McDonald's. One Tuesday, after a particularly exhausting session of bedroom aerobics, James went downstairs to make us some tacos while I stayed in his room. Without thinking, I grabbed the box of condoms out of his bedside drawer and undid the safety pin that I had holding my bra strap together. I unfolded the strip of condoms and carefully poked the pin through the center of one condom packet until it pierced through to the other side.
You're evil. You're forcing somebody who doesn't want a kid to have a kid. Like, are you proud of yourself? Like, really, this guy's just gonna dump you, and then you're gonna be on your own, and nobody's gonna want to date you because you're just gonna make them have another kid, because clearly you're not responsible for what you do. And you diss him, acting like having a job at McDonald's is bad or something. He's at the age where there's not many good jobs he can get. A job at McDonald's is nothing to be ashamed of. At least he has a job, unlike you. So, I mean, clearly, there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. I don't know why you're doing this. It's just so selfish, disrespectful, and overall, you're just being a douchebag by doing this. I mean, he doesn't want a kid. You're not ready for a kid. So just stop. Kill me.
Figured eventually he'd see the holes, and that'd be a good way for me to show him how serious I was about having kids. And if he didn't, well, that'd be even better. I pretty much forgot about it after that. My periods came on time, and I started spending less time with James due to his busy work schedule. When I did get the chance to hang out with him, he'd say he was tired and didn't feel like doing it, so we'd just cuddle and watch Netflix.
He probably knows what you did, and he probably doesn't want a kid. And also, it's just so, you keep bringing up the McDonald's thing, and the way you said his busy work schedule was just so disrespectful. He has a job, and he's getting paid at least, and he's trying to go to college, like he said. So you need to get money somewhere, and clearly, I bet you his parents aren't paying for it. And I'm sorry I say clearly so much. I just like that word. And also, you're dumb. I just hate this person so much. I hate these stories. Like, I'm gonna drink all the bleach I have after this, by the way. So if I don't make another video, you'll know why.
Was pregnant. I'd seen Danielle around, but she wasn't in any of my classes, and we hadn't talked much. She was pretty, but I didn't know she had a boyfriend. I was so jealous, secretly wishing it was me that was pregnant. Then, one afternoon out of the blue, James called me. He told me his family was moving interstate on the weekend, and he didn't want a long-distance relationship. Just like that, I was dumped. I was shocked and totally devastated. I stayed home bawling my eyes out for the next 3 days, wondering if it was because he had found out about the condoms.
If he did find out about it, he has all the right in the world to be mad. I mean, you tried making him have a kid that he told you he didn't want. I've already said that you're selfish a million times, and it's true, you're extremely selfish. He doesn't want a kid. You're not ready for a kid. I'm tired of repeating myself, but you just keep being so dumb with what you say. And I get it, these aren't real people, but still, somebody could come across this video and be like, "Ooh, what if I do that? Huh? Because this is totally real." And then they do it, And I get it, people aren't that dumb, but hey, some kids don't understand that this is fake. So that's my problem with this. Let's just continue watching this cancer of a video that makes me want to die.
Whispering and looking at me strangely. I had no idea what was going on and asked Jenny why everyone was looking at me. She kind of looked sad and said, "I'm so sorry, Melissa. I had no idea." Huh? What's going on? It's Danielle. She's dropped out of school to have the baby. But what's that got to do with me? The baby? The father is James. Then it hit me. James had been cheating on me. He'd been sleeping with Danielle. The holes I poked in his condoms. OMG. My plan to get pregnant had worked, just not with me. I'm still not sure if James even knew what I did to his condoms.
Okay, fair enough. You're not the worst person, but you're still not a good person. You still did it, and you still caused him to have a kid with somebody else, which is kind of his fault for cheating on you, but doesn't mean you're a good person just because he did something. It's like with the Call Me Carson thing. What he did was messed up, but doesn't mean Caterino's a good person. Just because he did something wrong, it's just like EDP. Like, the guy who exposed EDP is racist. He did a good thing, but he's a bad person. And that applies to you. He did a bad thing, but that doesn't mean you're a good person. He's a bad person, you're a bad person, she's a bad person. You're all bad people, you're all equally sucky, and this video is. And all the videos are equally sucky. I want to die.